We back at it again.
For the culture.
I'm a big fan of culture.
We're really high.
For the culture. My God.
Shout out to Culture.
For the Culture podcast.
Type.
Appreciate you for having me, man.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And we are back on For the Culture podcast here on season 2. Wow, man, how far we've come. And we have, a very special guest. We got Big Ben. Ben is the man.
I'm not that tall, bro.
got.
I'm only like 5'8", you know.
Well, last time I checked, I think Doctor had you about like 5'9 3/4.
Hey, I could roll with that.
About 190.
Yeah,
180.
I could do that. I could roll with that.
Then, that's what they said.
Hey, man.
But man, hey Ben, we appreciate you coming on, man. We know how busy you are.
Oh yeah, thanks.
And
I appreciate it.
Man, with all those hands, you have everywhere. How, of course, you lately you probably have hardly any time for yourself.
Yeah, I actually just went to San Francisco this past weekend to get away, from decompress a little bit.
Okay.
Saw the Giants lose, unfortunately, 9-0. So wasn't too happy about that. But hey, man, got to be in the Bay and
I hope you didn't make any bets on that game.
Nah.
Okay, cool.
With how they're doing right now, man, doing terrible, bro. But I had hope.
Right.
So.
Right. Was the tickets expensive?
No, it was like $42.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't that bad.
Okay. So you was able to endure the loss.
Yeah, I wanted to see the view of the Bay and catch the game. So it was really nice.
Breeze.
Oh yeah.
I know the weather keeps changing here. It wasn't raining out there.
No, not at all.
Oh,
thankfully,
nice.
yeah. It was nice out there. But how you been?
Oh man,
congrats
good.
on the season 2.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
I've never been here. I love the dispensary, so it's pretty cool.
Oh,
definitely gonna come back. Yeah.
Oh man, that's a huge honor, man. Especially coming from you, 'cause I know how particular you are.
Yeah, right. You can say that. You can say that.
So man, Ben, we always like to start our podcast off with, if you were born and raised in Fresno, man, what zip code were you raised in?
93705.
Man, nice zip code.
Clinton West. Yeah,
right.
So grew up out there.
Okay.
Went to high school at Fresno High.
Nice.
Cooper.
First high school of Fresno?
Yeah, bro. Went to Cooper Middle School before it was Cooper Academy.
Okay.
It was a little rough out there, but they changed it up. Yeah. So yeah, man, just been doing music for a long time.
Okay.
Been very involved with the community.
Right.
Try to get my hands in different pockets just to kind of explore the culture of Fresno.
Right.
So I love it out here. So.
Man, so born and raised.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, I like that. So, man, talking about being in the community and hands in pockets, tell us a little bit about, what it is that you do when it pertains to, bringing the community out and keeping us happy to be in Fresno.
Yeah, man, my main thing is, just creating, like, a great community, a safe space for everybody who wants to be involved. I'm a part of this media agency called Fresno Now. My buddy Eli started it, and I'm able to help him out with some stuff. Shout out to Eli. Yeah, shout out to Eli. Yeah, we got a few partnerships going on with local businesses, different companies out here in Fresno. Right. So it's pretty cool. It's a blessing. Our thing is to make sure that there's a lot of negative light that goes on in Fresno, especially in most recent events. It's it's been unfortunate. And my thing is try to create the safe space in Fresno, let people know that there are safe events that they could attend, family friendly, and just try to uplift the community as well as anybody who wants to be involved with the media, because I'm a part of a lot of events here in Fresno, and so getting media teams together. Shout outs to Jacob, shout outs to Luis. I actually met Luis a while back. He reached out to me, wanted to be a part of what event was it? Hot Girl Halloween.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You were part of Hot Girl Halloween.
Yeah, so K-Rich and I have been working on that since like 2019. We first started it.
Whoa. Ain't that the year you graduated from high school?
2017.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm
only 2 years
Damn, I felt old.
Man, you was doing big things, right?
Yeah, so that was actually my first real big event that we did, because I was doing like club stuff. So, I was doing events ranging from like 200 to 300 people. And then now doing events ranging from like 16 to 19,000 people.
Wow.
So it's a lot of fun. It's been a very good learning experience.
Yes.
You know, I didn't go to school or anything for it, so definitely had to work, 10 times, 100 times harder
Oh,
to.
100. I can relate to that.
Yeah, man, and and not a lot of people have that drive, and
Right.
I, definitely respect, people like Luis and Jacob because they have the drive and the passion to
Yes.
want to just elevate themselves, and I think that's the most important thing, especially for like the younger people. And we recently hosted a mixer with Fresno now in collaboration with Flip,
Okay.
and it was basically focused on events and entertainment.
Right.
I wanted to invite, all the young creatives because, when I was in high school and, younger me, I didn't really have an outlet to try to, I didn't know how to connect with people or network. And so I was,
Definitely could fool me on that one.
yeah, bro. So luckily I fell into the right hands of the right people. And, DJ Rich, he let me, just be by his side since I
Right.
was like 14, 15 years old.
Okay.
And so just being a part of that and working with the different artists, the radio reps,
Right.
label people, there's been a lot of cool things that I've been able to be a part of. And now it's just like, okay, I've been able to do these things. So
Yes.
how am I going to pass the torch on and try to get the next person, their foot in the door?
Yes.
Because, like I said, Rich definitely helped me out with that. And I can, say he's my guy for sure.
Oh
But
man, shout out to K
shout out,
Rich.
yeah, shout out to
I
K
mean,
Rich.
what a great mentor. I hear that a lot that he's a great mentor.
Yeah, and he's coached me up. He's disciplined me, and he's it's one thing to work alongside
Right.
someone and to be in part of their mentorship,
Yes.
but for them to kind of like talk to you and
Right.
get ideas from you and just coach each other up. I think
Yes.
that's the best part about what we all do. So
Man, that's amazing. So, growing up in Fresno, went to Fresno High, 93705,
hmm
at what point in your life did you see yourself, being in the scene of music and, providing safe spaces for people to be themselves and have a great time?
man, I don't even know. I just feel like, I've been around in the scene for, quite some time. I've been able to play, guitar for some pretty talented artists.
Oh man, there we
Uh,
go.
the,
Music background.
yeah, so going back to like my, my
Right.
music background,
You said you recorded something.
yeah, so I've, record like Karich and I and some of our other people would go to,
Right.
the studio. I've also been to some studios out in like Tower and stuff. I
Okay.
believe it was called like 707 Studios, where like Z Will and all of them used to
Right.
record. And so being brought up, with them and stuff is like really a blessing. But yeah, I've been able to do some stuff for like the youngest Latin Grammy award-winning artist. His name's
Ooh.
Miguelito. So we performed on like the news stations, and
Yes.
I was like, I was a freshman at the time, so that was kind of, it was kind of a big flex
Right.
at the time.
Big flag. Wait, freshman in high school?
Yeah, freshman in high school.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's a
so
huge flag.
yeah, so it was pretty cool. And then couple years later, being able to link up with Kaylani, and I did like a acoustic version to one of her songs.
Whoa.
Yeah, and so that was really cool. And now seeing her pop off years
Right.
later, being a Grammy award-winning artist is like it's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, big blessing for Rose. Just seeing like the scene evolve from like the West Coast, but also like the local
Yes.
stuff as well. So
Yes. Man, it's almost like, you talking about DJ K Rich, who of course, has a big heart
mhm.
and, like blessing others and seeing them grow and blossom. And I see that, you also share, that same passion and, giving on to others and seeing them blossom as you continue to water them, with knowledge and so forth. And, I'm just so fortunate to hear the contributions you have made in other people's lives and
Oh man,
continue to
thank you.
make. And, it's just very huge, just as I listen to you, the vision that you have, being from Fresno
hmm
and creating these spaces, starting on 300 now to, 15 plus thousand.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
man.
huge.
It's really cool, and I have a passion for events. Like I rather work a 15, 16 hour long day, event day, than like a regular 8 hour 9 to 5.
Right.
Even though like there's a lot more that goes to it, as in like the planning months in advance and
Yes.
and all that stuff, and like leading up to the actual event, and then like the couple days after is just like dead silence because
Right.
no one's hitting your phone, you're not getting emails, and I feel like that's a lot of thing. Like that's one thing that doesn't really get talked about
Right.
in the event industry is like mental health. You know,
Yes.
the mental health awareness and everybody that does freelancing and events and all that. It could be really hard, and especially the sacrifices you got to make.
True.
Like we had a
Huge
show.
sacrifice.
Yeah, so we had a show last year in Norco, and I wasn't originally gonna go, but my family reunion was that day, and
Right.
it was like the first family reunion that my family had in like a couple years.
Okay.
And then I got booked to work a show, and just those sacrifices and having to be away from family and friends for quite some time, it can take a toll, but at the same time, it's just like if you're really passionate about what you do, you gotta, take those sacrifices and take those steps to elevate your portfolio or your resume and your knowledge and all that stuff. So yeah, it's been a journey for sure.
Wow. What would you say is one of your most both inspiring and memorable events that you've done?
Man, I think one of my favorite events that I've done is Tequila Fest when we had T-Pain.
Oh,
Um,
man.
So obviously T-Pain was played a lot on the radio
Right.
growing up, and so being able to, I've actually seen him in concert before, but being able to work a show and actually get to meet him and
Yes.
bring in my mom and my family along to those shows, and
Huge.
having them being able to meet T-Pain and getting a picture with them, and same thing with having my family come out to some of the events that we have at Woodward Park. We had Boots in the Park last year, and
Right.
being able to do that Fresno show and
Yes.
bring my family and be like, yep, this is what I do, and just telling them like everything that I'm kind of a part of, and
Right.
even though it might be like a little role, but at the same time, it's just like it's a blessing for sure.
Oh, true. Man,
So-
that's no little role. I mean, man,
Uh,
you're doing a lot.
Sometimes I sabotage myself, but yeah, that's
Man, no, I love, man. So Boots in the Park, and then of course you did the fest with T-Pain. I think
Mm-hmm.
T-Pain also performed with other artists that year.
yeah. So it was
T.I.?
that was the year before. Yeah, Sage the Gemini.
Oh,
Sage the
wow.
Gemini.
Shared the same stage.
Yeah,
Wow.
and actually got to play a couple of songs with local band The Box. They had opened up
Okay.
on that show, and their guitarist, shout out to Fernando,
Right.
wanted me to jump on the song, and so being on that stage, and then working at being on that stage,
Yes.
and then having T-Pain there was like was really cool for sure.
Well, so are you doing it this year too?
Yeah, so usually I'll find out like the week of.
Okay.
But conversations here and there with the artists that they're gonna have, and all that stuff definitely play a role in all of that. But yeah, so Tequila Fest is May 2nd, coming up really soon.
Yes.
I'm excited for it. There's a lot of things rolling out. We got it was a Twista, Nelly, Elvis Crespo, Suavemente.
Ooh.
First time out here in Fresno, so that's gonna be a good one. So
Wow.
I'm excited for that.
Man, so I'm excited too, man. Maybe Big Ben could bring them all by.
Man, hey, maybe I'll dance or
Right.
show a little 1-2 step going on
That'll work.
when Suavemente comes out.
Ooh, man. I
Yeah.
think everyone want to see that.
Yeah, bro.
Hopefully that, man, these two guys will be there to catch that on camera.
Lewis will be out. Lewis will be out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, doing the two-step?
Yeah, we're gonna be doing the 2-step. I think Jacob will be out there too. But yeah, man, like being able to just work alongside some
Yeah.
of like my best friends and
Right.
who I consider family, and we're all together in like one unit,
Yes.
in Chick Chansey Park. But at the same time, like everyone's doing their own thing.
Correct.
But it's really cool to see everyone work in their own pockets of places, and it's definitely a blessing for sure, because I got major love for all of these guys. Adri, she's really dope.
Oh, no doubt.
I can't remember when I first met you.
2 weeks ago?
When did we meet? When did we meet? Was it Hot Girl Halloween? Many moons ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
Many
many
moons
moons
ago.
ago. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was,
Oh, no,
the moon from 2 weeks ago.
The full moon.
The full moon.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in trouble. But man, that hot girl. Are we doing hot girl Halloween this year?
I don't know. Sometimes we plan things out, but we kind of
Right.
keep things under the rug.
Got you.
So
Got you. Got
you
you.
got to make
Suspense.
you got to make that major announcement. Yeah, we had it at Chick Park originally, and then we switched over to Rainbow. Rainbow has a beautiful renovation,
Oh my
man.
goodness.
And
I thought I was in Vegas.
yeah, bro, it's
Right.
it's really nice out there, and to see like, we used to do shows out there, and back when it wasn't, back when it was Rainbow
Yeah,
that I did
yeah,
growing
yeah.
up.
They had all the booths inside, right?
Been seeing how it is now,
Right.
and that's one thing too, is just like I love seeing these venues and like elevate
Sure.
their venues and their craft and all that stuff. So it's definitely cool seeing like the different transitional phases
Yes.
that all of these places go through to to keep up with the times and elevate and stuff, because there's not a lot of cities that really have that luxury, so
I agree, especially cities such as Fresno. Man.
yeah. And doing shows from like like Azteca Theater. I don't know if you guys have been at Azteca Theater, but
No, I have.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a interesting venue.
True.
But you're gonna come across certain different sizes, different dynamics of,
Right.
of venues. But yeah, it's a blessing to be able to be a part of different shows at like Chick Park and
Oh,
all of
man,
that
that's
stuff.
huge.
So it's a beautiful park, and growing up, I went to the baseball games
Yes.
over there. When they're affiliated with the Giants. Shout
Right.
out to the Giants, even though they're not doing that great this season. But still got to show them love.
Still got showing love, guys. And man, unfortunately, Big Ben ain't too happy taking those trips, and they coming up with the L.
Hey man, you got
Right.
to sacrifice, right?
That's true. That's true.
No, but yeah. So I mean, I have major love for the Grizzlies. I started doing the national anthem for them when I was in high school, and then
So you got vocals.
oh no, guitar. Just,
Oh, okay.
like a little Jimi Hendrix
Right.
stuff here and there.
I like it.
Yeah, so doing that, and then moving forward, doing stuff for Major League Baseball. So I've done Oracle Park for the Giants. I've done the Dodger game at the Dodger Stadium, and then
Well, it's huge accomplishment.
in Oakland A's game, they booked me for the night. I think it was a 1972 World Series like championship reunion, and so they had like Reggie Jackson out
Right.
there, and being able to perform in front of them was like, and I didn't even know it was going to be on NBC Sports. I didn't know it was going to be on TV.
Whoa.
And so that was really cool to, just to be a part of that. And, now they're moving over to Vegas.
True.
And so, it's pretty cool to
And I could see you going to Vegas with them.
hopefully,
Yeah.
I don't know what that heat, but, we will see. Yeah. So,
Well, it look like maybe you'll switch over to the Oakland, Las Vegas A's.
yeah, Las Vegas A's.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Guess if the orange and black don't come back,
Yeah, man, it's
you'll have to go with the
unfortunate.
green.
It's unfortunate that all of these teams are like moving out of Oakland,
I
but
know.
it's like I said, the transitional phases and keeping up with the times. It definitely some things have to happen.
Right, right. I mean, it's all part of life, right?
Everything's gonna change. Yeah, for sure.
That's true. So besides the Tequila Fest, is there anything you like to share with the viewers that's coming up later in the year that you're bringing?
Yeah, so I am doing the national anthem, coming back home to Chick Park for the first time in like it's been a couple years.
Whoa.
Got a text from Johnny Bravo. Shout out to Johnny Bravo. He's
Shout
my
out.
guy. He does all the marketing stuff. He's the marketing director for the Fresno Grizzlies.
Okay.
And he asked me if I can do it for the Star Wars night, which is like that night typically every year sells out.
Whoa. May 4th.
It's May 15th.
May 15th?
Yeah, so it's a Friday. They're gonna have fireworks that night. Really excited. This is my second Star Wars night, I think.
Whoa.
So I'm bringing a buddy along with me. We have some special surprises. I might dress up in a Chewbacca costume or something. So we'll see.
Ooh.
But yeah, other than that, like, Boots in the Park's coming to Fresno on the 18th of this month.
Okay.
So that
You got a lot going
that should
on.
be fun. Yeah, man. It's event season's here.
Right, right.
It
You
was
don't sleep.
it was a dead pocket from like, after, Taco Truck Throwdown
Yeah.
last November, and then, I didn't have events lined up or
Right.
anything. And so kind of the downtime, depressing stages of just like, all right, now I got to wait a few
Yes.
months for everything to kick back up. But yeah, so event season's in full effect, and
Huge.
I'm excited to see how everything goes.
Man, excited. Shoot, we're all excited. I mean, we know it's gonna go well for sure
Oh
because
yeah,
Fresno continue to come out.
yeah, man.
And now knowing, now you all know, man, the brain behind bringing us all out of our house to come and socialize in one nucleus place and just, having a blast,
Oh yeah,
man.
there's a lot of heads, involved, and I'm blessed to,
Right.
you know, be a part of,
Well,
a
true.
part of all of it. So even though maybe a small role or whatever, it's just nice to be a part of that, that team, and putting on these events for the community and
True.
making sure, everybody's safe, and just all these high quality
Right.
events. And that's what's important to me, is bringing, high quality stuff to Fresno, and making sure everyone is aware of, what's going on, and, the different family friendly events compared to like the 21 and up
Right.
events. And yeah, my goal is just to elevate everyone's like knowledge with what's going on in Fresno. Because how many times do you hear, you went to Fresno? What you do in Fresno?
Yeah.
There's nothing to do in Fresno,
Oh
bro. There's
man,
so much to do in
that's
Fresno.
true.
Like the brewery district, seeing how it is
Yes.
now compared to when I was in high school, like it looks
Oh,
beautiful.
no doubt, no doubt.
Um, and so yeah, man, it's just it's really cool to see Fresno elevate with the event scene,
Yes.
and just all of that stuff. So I
It's
love
the-
it.
and we appreciate you and the contribution which you've given, day in and day out
I
to
appreciate it,
contribute
man.
to that because, as you stated, it is a collective effort. And man, Ben, we appreciate how humble you are in regards of elevating the team and constantly remind us how small your position is, but actually, man, you play a big part
I appreciate it,
and
bro.
bringing light to Fresno. And I think everyone that is watching today definitely want to. I've always wanted to know, like, man, who's the mastermind? Who's the one behind the scenes that's orchestrating or contributing to the orchestration
Yeah,
of these
there's
things happening?
definitely a lot of people, involved with
Hundred
all of
percent,
these events. And
100%.
it's the main part about it is just seeing everyone come together and work, and
Right.
then creating like an experience for everybody that is attending whatever event it is.
Yes.
So that's my biggest thing. And shout outs to, like, once again, shout outs to Luis, Adri, Jacob. They
100%.
they're a part of these events too. They capture the experience,
Right.
and make sure everybody capture all this content
True.
to encourage people to come the following year. So
True.
everybody's in this room is definitely talented at what they do, such as yourself. This is a beautiful spot, man. Like,
Man, I appreciate
I
it.
don't know why I've never been here. Like,
I know.
it's crazy.
I mean, one of Fresno hidden gems, right?
No, yeah, for sure, for
No
sure.
doubt.
Yeah, I love it, man.
Man, no, I thank you. And, man, as we said before, man, we hoping to see you again. And, I know you have a lot of people that not only look up to you, but also follow you. And, they may decide to come by because now they can see what you see.
Oh yeah, if you don't come by culture, you're not a part of the culture, bro. Like,
Man,
come on now.
there it is, man. I hope y'all caught that.
Yeah.
Well, Ben, hey, Ben, we appreciate you making the time to come on.
Yeah, thanks for
man.
having me, guys.
And I love
Appreciate
your
it.
energy. Man,
Thank you,
you're
thank you.
great. Now I see why, you just magnetic. I didn't know you were the magnet that
Bro.
attracted us all to come out the house. I walk out the house like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
Yeah,
now,
man.
Now we see what's the magnet that, brings us all out.
I appreciate you, bro.
And
Bro.
man, I'm glad that, that you found your light and your passion and what it is you want to do.
Yeah, man. Still searching for it. I feel like if you really love something, you
Right.
really gotta try to see how you're gonna be better off.
That's true.
Make better goals the next year. And
Right.
I believe I saw you at Hot Girl Halloween the last time we had it at Rainbow. And,
Yeah.
being here with
Right.
you on like on a different aspect is it's really cool.
Man.
It's a full circle thing for sure.
Man, I mean, like I said, I thought I was in Las Vegas, man.
Oh,
I
man.
mean, honestly, that was a great event.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
Oh, that was a lot of energy in that room.
I didn't even know Sage of Gemini was going that day. It's pretty
Oh
cool.
man, they kept that from you?
No, they didn't keep it. Usually, like, we'll find things out
Right,
last minute.
right.
Like, this one time we had OGZ come out at Hot Girl Halloween, and we didn't even find out until like the day of. We had a group text going
Wow.
on with this DJ, and they're like, "Hey, we're actually gonna come from Modesto, and
Stop by.
stop by." And that was pretty cool. And it's OGZ, bro. Like,
Right.
he's popping from seeing Shoreline Mafia at like Rainbow Ballroom to now
Whoa,
they
that's
just
huge.
announced a show with Suicide Boys at Same Art Center, and so seeing them do arenas is
Yes.
it's really cool, and I love seeing artists elevate, especially like the West Coast artists
Right.
and all that stuff. So it's really cool.
Man, so a lot of times you guys just surprise us.
Yeah.
And we don't even know it.
You never know what's gonna happen at the Carriage event, bro.
Whoa, man.
That's why we say special guests.
Yes, all the time.
Because
I see.
we don't even know who might be coming, you know.
Right.
So yeah, so but it's fun. So, but yeah, thanks once again, man. For
No,
having me.
man, I
Appreciate it.
appreciate you sincerely, man. Thank
Okay,
you so much,
appreciate
my
you.
man.
Thank you.